안녕하세요. 미라클 리딩입니다. 오늘 The Present 89쪽에서 92쪽 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. After the story. As Bill finished the story, Liz smiled and said, I needed that. She added, As you probably noticed, I have been taking many notes. Obviously, there's a lot to think about. She was quiet for a few moments, as she reflected on what she had just heard. Finally, she said, Thanks very much for sharing the story, Bill. Then she said, I think I'm going to try to put it to use and see what happens for myself. After I do, can we talk again? Bill agreed. Of course. It was great to see you, Liz said. And after a moment or two of pleasantries, she was gone. As she left, Bill wondered what his friend had gained from the story. He would have to wait a while to find out. Then one morning at work, after his weekly team meeting, Bill found a message on his voicemail. It was from Liz. Bill, are you free for lunch anytime soon? Several days later, when Bill arrived at the restaurant, Liz was already there. She didn't look tired or anxious, just the opposite. He said, You look great, Liz. What's up? She smiled. You remember that story you told me, The Present? He nodded. Of course, I remember. Well, many things have happened since, and I couldn't wait another moment to tell you about them. After our lunch meeting, I saw you had changed so much since we worked together, and for the better. So I started to think more about the story because it had obviously worked for you. A few days later at work, it came back to me again. I was getting stressed out with my boss. I was overworked and tired, and she was pushing us to make changes in our marketing plan. Changes I didn't think were necessary. And given everything else we had to do, I'm afraid I resented her for asking us to do more. She kept talking about how the economy and marketplace were changing and how we needed to adapt. But I didn't want to hear it. It was the same old speech she's made before. She said a new marketing plan was long overdue. But this time she said that I was still riding on my old successes, that I was holding on to the past. My first reaction was to block out what she was saying, knowing how many other projects I had to do. But I recalled the part in the story where the old man said, You can learn from the past, but it is not wise to be in the past. I began to wonder if that was where I have been for too long. In the past. And I worried a lot about the future too. I felt unprepared for it. She laughed and said, I guess I've been spending time almost everywhere except in the present. Thank you for listening. Bye.